you from Rancho Paco in Ocala, Florida, it's He's No Mickey Mantle with your hosts, George and Jordan.
Hello and welcome back to He's No Mickey Mantle. This is episode 4. Today we'll be discussing the American League of MLB. We'll be discussing our predictions for the different divisions, who we think will be in the playoffs, and why these teams will be doing what they do this year. So we have an AL preview. Baseball is hitting. Spring training is set to get underway. Pitchers and catchers are already there, and full squads are starting to report. So it's an exciting time of year. A lot of spring training battles going on. But today we're going to focus on the American League. So we're going to start with the American League East. Let's run down those teams and see what we got.
Yeah, so for my predictions, I'm going to start with the Yankees winning the division. I think that's pretty guaranteed. I would say it's a lock. They won it last year fairly easy, even having quite a bit of a slump after the All-Star break. So I definitely think they'll get back there again this year. I'm going to put the Blue Jays at number 2. I think they're going to be a fairly good team. It's going to be hard to compete with the Yankees. Personally, I think that they didn't do enough to get better this year, and I'm going to have to put them at 2. And I'm going to put the Rays at 3. I don't think they're going to be a too overwhelming team. I think they're pretty average, so I'll put them at 3. And I'll put the Orioles at 4. They're a young team. They're getting better. But I just don't think they have it all pieced together yet. They got a few rising stars like Adley Rutschman, their catcher. And I know they acquired a few more guys in the offseason to get better, but I still don't think they have that experience.
Orioles are a young team, but they're going to be good soon. Yeah, maybe not this year. They're getting better, but soon they'll be good.
They may give the Rays a little bit of a hard time, but I'd put them at 4 on this list. And to round it off, the Red Sox will be in dead last place in the AL East.
I have my East teams. I have the same exact order as you. For all those reasons you mentioned, the Yankees look like a machine right now. They did lose Montas for quite a long time, maybe way later in the season. So they're going to be looking for a 5th starter now in the spring. They got Rodon. We saw him yesterday at camp.
An animal.
That dude is a unit. He's a unit, and he was throwing good and hard, and that's a co-ace. You got 2 aces on that team. So you got Garrett Cole, you got Rodon. The starting pitching is gonna be lights out for the Yankees, so they're gonna win the division. Blue Jays, like you said, they didn't acquire much during the offseason. They did acquire Chad Green, our beloved Chad Green, after coming off of a injury. So he's going to solidify their bullpen a little bit more. Their pitching is good. I think they'll be good enough to get into a second place in that division. The Rays, I don't see the Rays doing too much. They always battle, but I don't think that they're going to have enough to be there at the end. The Orioles, very young team. They will do some winning. They will be in a lot of games, but I don't think they have enough to get over the hump this season. And the Red Sox, losing Bogarts, losing Martinez. I don't think they have what they need. They lost Evaldi. They have nothing.
Yeah, the Red Sox definitely lost the core of their team, and that's the main reason why they're so far down on the list. Like you said, the Orioles are still young, so it's kind of hard to put them up against those teams like the Rays who've been in the playoffs couple years ago, past couple years. And the Blue Jays, who've also been in a wild card spot recently.
They play in a very hard division with a lot of teams with a lot of good players and a lot of teams that are going to win a lot of games. They're not there yet, but they will be soon.
I agree.
All right, we're going to move on to the American League Central Division. It's always a weak division, never a great division for me. So what you got for the Central?
I lost my notes here. Here we go. So for the Central, I've got the Guardians taking the division. I feel like it's a pretty weak division, and they won it last year. So it's no surprise to me. They had a young team last year, and were still able to get it done. So I think they could do it again. They got a solid squad. So I think the Guardians will win the division. But I do think that the Twins will make it close. They will be neck and neck with them. I think it'll be pretty competitive. And so for that, I'll put the Twins at the second spot. And I will put the White Sox at 3. I really want to see the White Sox do good. I don't know. I feel like they've...
Why?
I feel like they've been very underachieving for what they should be. And especially in such a bad division, I feel like they should be doing a lot better than they are.
The White Sox are a team that never crosses my baseball mind. I don't think much about them.
Because you never watch them.
They never come into my mind. They never come saying, hey, I want to watch those White Sox. I don't know. It's just an irrelevant team to me.
I don't know. I feel like they got a little bit of talent on their team that they should be able to do something. So I'll put them at my 3. I think they'll compete with the Twins a little bit, but I don't think they're going to get a playoff spot. And then to round out the bottom, we'll put the Royals at 4. Bobby Witt Jr., they got a little bit of young talent with MJ Melendez. I think they'll get the advantage over the Tigers, and the Tigers at 5. They're a pretty bad team.
Yeah,
so
the Tigers are always lost.
I don't believe that either of those two teams, Royals or Tigers, will be doing anything in that division. I think it's going to be strictly Guardians and Twins, and maybe we'll see a little bit of the White Sox.
I agree with you with the Guardians and Twins being the premier teams in that division. But my finish looks way different than yours. I have the Twins winning the Central. I think with getting Carlos Correa back, it's a big boost for them. Hopefully he does stay healthy.
It's a big boost, but you got to understand they had him last year, and they still couldn't get it done.
Yeah, but they did get a wild card. So that team is good. But I think they're going to battle. I think Cleveland overachieved last year with those young guys. I don't think they could do that again. Overachieve the way they did.
So do you think it'll be close?
I think it'll be close, but I think the Twins take it.
Okay.
The Guardians in second in the division, followed by the Royals. I think that young talent will come up and give a run for money for. And I think that says more about the other teams in the division than it does the Royals. The Royals are up and coming. I think they'll be a good team soon, but right now they're just a middle of the pack team. The White Sox, I don't like the White Sox. Like I said, I don't think about them about anything. They do have some good talent. They lost to Abreu, huge loss.
He is. It's a loss, but he is getting old, so
it's a huge loss. They signed Clevelander, who may or may not be available. He may face a disciplinary action in the domestic violence policies. We'll see what happens with that. Right now, he's still able to train with the team, but pending an investigation, we'll see what happens. He may not be available. So that big signing that they got, it may not work out for them. Not right now, or not for 50 games, or whatever it is that they give them. So I think the White Sox don't do much in that division. They'll be behind the Royals. And the Tigers are going to tiger. They're going to be in the end of
the best thing they got going for them is Miguel Cabrera's finale season.
They got Miguel Cabrera, Hall of Famer, that's still on the team. And they got the Domino's pizza guy, and that's it. That's what they got going for them. Otherwise, and they're not a very good team.
Yeah, I think that division as a whole is the weakest of the three.
Yeah, it's weak,
and it's been for a while. So I think it's going to be no different this year. But
okay, so now having said that, we'll move on to the West, the American League West. We know who dominates that. Who's dominated that?
For the past 5 years,
the team that has dominated the American League. So what do you got for the American League West?
So obviously the Astros at number one.
No doubt.
Comes to no one's surprise.
No
Reigning
doubt.
World Series champs. We're Yankees fans, and it hurts to say it, but they own us.
Best team in the league.
You know, we'll see what happens this year, but as far as the division goes, they're going to take it, and I don't think it'll even be close. I think they'll win.
Not even close.
I think they'll win over 100 games again, and, you know, even with the second and third place team that I'm going to have going neck and neck, I don't think they're going to be able to catch them.
So do you think the Yankees win their division by more, or the Astros win their division by more?
I think the Astros win it because they're in a weaker division. I think the Yankees still do win over 100 games, but I think because they have the Blue Jays, who could probably win about 90-something games, in the lower 90s, I think that division will be a lot closer than
the Blue Jays win at least 90 games.
Yeah. So,
but I feel like the Mariners could win 90 games.
I agree. I feel like they could, but my surprising number 2 spot, and I could be dead wrong, or I could be predicting a Cinderella story. It's going to be the Texas Rangers. I think.
So, from the discussion we just had, you're telling me that Rangers will win more than 90 games?
No. I said the Rangers and Mariners are going to be very close. Those two teams might be separated by a single game coming to the end of the season. It might be the difference between one game between those two teams.
You are relying on old pitching and injured pitching. I don't know.
You know, I think they've got a pretty good team with Corey Seager and the what's his name at second? He was with the Blue Jays. Marcus Semien. I blinked out. Marcus Semien and Corey Seager at short and second. I think that's pretty hot.
They've been spending money trying to make that team good.
And they got DeGrom, and we just saw they got Evoldi too.
Now here's the problem with DeGrom. Day 2 of spring training, they already shut him down for a couple of days.
And, you know, Nestor had to back out of the World Baseball Classic, but he's still fine. So, you know, these guys, you know, they're a little bit fragile. Obviously, DeGrom has a lengthy history of injury, but we do have to understand the guy's won Cy Young before. The guy's considered the best pitcher in baseball. So I've got to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I think that the Rangers will get the second place in the AL West.
Okay.
Followed very closely by the Seattle Mariners. I think they're coming off on a historic season after breaking that super long postseason drought. They're young. They got pitching. They got Julio, who's great. And I think they're going to make it very close there with the Rangers.
Okay.
And at 4, I'm going to have to put the Angels. Wasting Mike Trout's career, wasting Shohei's career. It's unfortunate to see. But I do not think that team has any power besides those two guys to get anything done.
Well, wasting the careers, but I think this year they may get rid of one of those guys. Or both. I don't think both, but
yeah.
One of those guys is going to go.
Yeah, and you said that in our previous video that
I think it's going to be Mike Trout.
And you think it's going to be Trout.
That's right. So, go check out our last video and what I said about Trout.
But besides those two guys, they've got absolutely nobody. I mean, they got Hunter Renfroe, which is a decent pickup, but that guy's been around the league, and he's only getting older. And they got no pitching. They really don't.
They got Shohei, and that's it.
They got Shohei. That's their whole team. Him and Trout. And Trout's hurt half the season most of the time.
And they got Thor, which...
He's old.
He's not
what he used to be.
He had a couple of good seasons, and that was it.
And to round out the West is the A's. They're absolutely garbage. They are probably going to be the worst team in baseball again, back-to-back years.
Oakland A's, spend some money.
They got to get out of that city. They need to move somewhere with money, get a better stadium. That city's just not for them.
Spend some money, get some ball players. Moneyball is over. Please get some money, big money players.
Yeah, so not too much to talk about the A's.
They stink.
They really didn't do anything this offseason that sticks out, so they're going to be dead last and probably the worst record in the MLB.
Wow, that's saying a lot. My West predictions. You got the Mean Machine, the team everybody loves to hate, the defending world champions. Houston Astros at number 1.
Yeah.
Best team in the American League, in my opinion.
Right now.
Best team in the American League.
Hopefully that'll change once the season starts.
We'll see what happens. Number 2. Seattle Mariners. Got a nice young core. I like that team. You got Julio Rodriguez coming into year 2. I think he's going to just dominate the league. Give a good push to the Mariners. I do think the Mariners are capable of winning more than 90 games. They got good pitching. Robbie Ray's out there. They got all kinds of good stuff going on over there.
And like we said before, with the new schedule, they're going to be playing every team, correct? Yep. So they're going to be facing some poor teams from the NL, which are going to just be able to boost up.
Yeah, they don't have to play the Astros 16 times.
Yeah, that's huge.
Which maybe that is a detriment when you're trying to catch them. You don't have that many games to play head to head. Who knows?
But it evens out when you get to play the poor teams in the other league. So
sure, I think the Mariners are going to be really good. At third place, I have the Angels. Shohei, Mike Trout, those guys are still great, man, and I think they do make a run at this thing.
So you have them above 500 in the third spot?
I have them way above 500.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Way above 500. I think that team's going to be good. DeRefro, good addition.
So you have them way above 500, but they still need to get rid of one of their stars because they can't afford them.
That's a money thing. You got to get ready to pay Shohei $500 million or lose him. So what do? You can't pay Shohei $500 million and pay Mike Trout $300 million when you're the Angels. Can't do it. So you either trade Shohei for a whole lot, or you trade Mike Trout for a whole lot. It's one or the other, in my opinion. And this is a season that's going to be one or the other.
Or they might write it out and just lose one of them in free agent or
for nothing.
Shohei in free agency.
You're going to lose one of those guys for nothing.
No, of course not. But it's going to be kind of. Think about it. You're above 500. You're possibly competing for a playoff spot, and you're going to trade your star player at the deadline?
Well, unless you think you got what it takes to take it all in this year and push it all in for this year.
I think that's a tricky situation.
Huge tricky situation.
You really don't see contenders trading away their best player in September. That's unheard of.
But it's also unheard of having a guy that's going to hit free agency and about to make $500 million.
Well, I don't think that much, but yeah, they're going to have to pay him if they don't trade him away. So that's going to be interesting to see for sure.
Then I got the Rangers under them. I don't think the Rangers are. I'm not as high on the Rangers as you are for sure.
Okay.
I think DeGrom is very fragile. When he's there, he's great, but he's not there a lot.
So you think he's going to get hurt again?
I hope not, because I want to see him pitch.
Of course.
I hope he doesn't get hurt. I want to see him pitch because he's one of the best pitchers in baseball.
The best when healthy in baseball.
one healthy. And that's a big if. And then you got Evaldi, an old dude, very injured too. I don't think you can rely on a pitching staff that old. It's almost like the Mets. I mean, I know we're talking American League, but it's almost like the Mets. You're going to rely on old arms. I don't know if that happens. So I have the Rangers and then the A's pulling up the rear, really behind everybody else. The A's may lose over 100 games.
No, they will lose over 100 games. Guaranteed. They did it last season. They're going to do it again.
So those are our division predictions.
All right. So who do you have in the playoff seeding?
Okay, so my division winners were the Yankees, the Twins, and the world champs, Houston Astros. Those are my division winners. Then we go to our wild card. Blue Jays for sure. They're going to be the first wild card. They're going to have the best record out of all those wild card teams. The Mariners. I'm very high on the Mariners. And then Shohei and Mike Trout get it done. Get into the playoffs. Sneak into the third wild card.
That'd be amazing to see.
I'm hoping. I want to see Mike Trout in the playoffs.
Oh, of course. I want to see Shohei too. And so who do you have from the division winners playing one of those wild card teams?
Well, I think the
Twins, right?
Well, yeah, the Twins, because the 1 and 2 seed will be the Astros and the Yankees.
Yeah.
And I think the Astros will be the number 1 seed again because they're the best teams in the league.
Yeah. So you don't have the Guardians making the postseason?
I do not have the Guardians in it. I think they're a young team that regresses this year.
It's a take.
No, it's the truth.
Well, mine is going to be not so similar to you in the wild card, but fairly the same in the division. I could only hope the Yankees take the 1 seed to get that home field advantage, but I'm going to have to give it to the Stros. They're the best team.
For now, on paper, yeah.
So, Stros will take that 1 seed, Yankees will take the 2nd, and I'll have the Guardians taking the 3rd, playing the wild card team. And then I'm going to have the Blue Jays as the first wild card team.
Yep.
The Rangers as the second wild card team.
Wow.
And this could be tossed up.
The spending paid off for those guys. Huh?
This could be tossed up between them and the Mariners, between who gets the 2nd and 3rd wild card seed. But it's going to be Rangers and then Mariners, or Mariners and Rangers.
Oh, so you agree the Mariners are going to get the playoffs?
Yes. No. Yeah, they'll get in the playoffs. I don't think Twins will. I think that the Mariners are really good, and that the Rangers are going to be that Cinderella team this year and take that extra wild card spot.
Okay, so the only difference we have is you have the Rangers in,
and you have the Angels,
and I have the Angels in, and you have the Guardians in, and I have the Twins in. Yep. Okay, so it's not too much of a difference, but you're very high on those Rangers.
I am, and I don't know if I'm going to be regretting that in a few months, but we'll see. So how do you have this postseason playing out?
Well, this postseason, I think that the AL champ will be, and I'm going to go Homer, New York Yankees.
Yeah, I'm going to go Homer too, of course. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say the Astros. Why would I? Yeah, I think the Yankees will be the AL champs. I think
this is the year they get over the hump.
And what is it that you have to say about who's going to be knocking out the Stros in the playoffs?
Well, that's my hot take of the day.
Oh.
So okay, I'll hold on to that.
You'll hold on to that.
Yeah, I'm going to hold on to that on my hat.
That's hot. But yeah, so we both have the Yankees getting the pennant this year, hopefully.
Yep.
That finally happens. But we'll have to see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean,
could only hope and pray.
But I think the American League is going to be good. They got several elite teams. Yankees, Astros, tier below that, Blue Jays, Mariners.
Yeah, I think that second tier is
going to be very clumped up and very close.
Yeah.
But that second tier is big win teams. I'm talking
90 plus wins. Yeah.
Those teams, the American League is going to be tough. It's going to be good.
Definitely, yeah.
So let's go straight into our hot take of the day. The hottest take of the day. You go first.
All right. Coming off my Texas Rangers high.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, this is either going to be a perfect hot take or completely fall apart. But my hot take is, like I said, Rangers make the playoffs, and Jacob deGrom wins the AL Cy Young.
Wins the Cy Young.
Yes, wins the Cy Young.
Wow.
And then he'll be NL and AL Cy Young in his career.
Wow. I mean, that's Hall of Fame material right there.
Oh, he's already a Hall of Famer.
That's crazy.
In my opinion.
Wow. Okay, that is hot. That's a hot take.
I think
if he stays healthy, he has a shot.
I think one can't happen without the other. If he stays healthy, I think he'll win the Cy Young. And if he stays healthy, the Rangers will make the playoffs.
Of course.
Yeah.
He doesn't stay healthy, the Rangers don't have a shot. He stays healthy, he's close to Cy Young material.
No, he will be.
Then those guys will do well.
He'll dominate.
I don't see it happening.
You don't see either happening?
No.
So you think he's going to get hurt?
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
That's his track record, unfortunately, until they told me otherwise, until he shows me otherwise, I think he can get hurt again.
Well, let's see if he proves you wrong this season.
I hope he does, because he's a great pitcher, and I would love to see him pitch all season. My hot take, you almost blew it already.
I wasn't going to say it.
Okay. Well, you almost blew it. But my hot take of the day, I have the defending world champion, Houston Astros will lose in the American League Divisional Series. Won't even make it to the championship series. How about that?
And how many games will they lose? All 5?
Yeah, go 5.
We'll go 5. So you're saying they're going to lose in the Divisional Series in Houston in Game 5?
Yes.
And you say my hot take is ridiculous.
Ask me to who? Ask me what team?
To who?
Division rival, Seattle Mariners.
Well,
paving the way for number 28.
Oh yeah. If the Mariners miraculously somehow beat the Astros, yeah, the Yankees they might sweep. Let's be honest. But that's not going to happen. There is no way that the Astros are going to lose to the Mariners in the division series.
Did you see him last year when they played the Mariners? I went.
They dropped 1 game.
And the other games, 1 run, 2 run games, they were nothing. They were the Mariners were right there.
So you think that they're going to be able to get over that hump this year?
Yep. Maybe I'm hoping. Maybe I want to see them lose because I'm a hater.
No, that's the best case scenario for the Yankees for sure, but...
Maybe I'm a hater. Maybe I'm trying to get the Yankees an easier road.
No, me personally, bring on Houston. And, it's not been pretty the past 4 times, but bring them on. I'm ready.
I think Rodon makes a huge difference to the Yankees this year.
Absolutely.
And when we get Mike Trout in the at the deadline,
that's a bonus hot take.
when we get Mike Trout at the deadline,
then the
bada bing, bada boom, put that sucker in left field.
Greatest team ever assembled.
Then we have Judge in right, Bader in center, Mike Trout in left.
That'd be unbelievable.
Who's beating those guys? That's a World Baseball Classic team right there. That's
an all-star team. But we can only hope. So
I think it's going to be a good season. I think the American League is going to be tough, and the good teams are coming out of the American League. So a lot of good teams.
So I'll wrap it up here with our little outro. So this was part 1. Part 2 is going to be our NL predictions. So we're going to do the same thing we did with the AL teams. We're going to be doing with the NL teams. And that's going to be a separate video that will probably be coming out a week after this one.
Yep.
And so we're excited about that. So if you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.